I don't know how to start a video. Okay, so this is going to be my first bow review. It's going to be a double feature. So I have these two bows from Salah's Archery. They recently sent me this Mongolian bow and this Kaiyuan bow. I got these a few weeks ago, so I'm going to talk about my thoughts from shooting these for a couple weeks. While I don't have a lot of fancy equipment that some other channels have, I am hoping to get some of that stuff soon, but right now I'm just talking about how I feel about these and what I like and what I don't like about them. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the Mongolian bow because I think I have more to talk about with that one. So for both of these bows, I actually talked to the company directly to request 75 pounds for a draw weight. And they said it would be no problem to go ahead and make a 75 pounder for both of these. I believe on their Etsy shop, they only offered up to, I want to say 60 or 70, but I believe they've updated that since then. So first, this is the Mongolian bow. This is 75 pounds, 33 inches, which is tagged on the bow. I chose this one because I have heard that the Mongolian bow is excellent for combat archery or historical archery from horseback. If you've seen my other videos, you know I like to jump around a lot, do some cool stuff, and shoot very quickly. So I got this one because from what I've heard, it is very easy to shoot quickly from a bow like this. I tend to shoot off the left side. So this bow actually has a ray skin. I believe they called this a strike pad or a arrow plate or something like that. But if you can see here, so this will protect your leather and your materials there. But if I had one wish, I would put it on the other side. I know a lot of people like to shoot off the right side because it's supposedly faster. It doesn't really work that well for me, but that could just be because I don't practice that. And the other thing is, my hand naturally wants to sit right in the middle like this. And as you can see, my hand actually covers up that ray skin, and I sit my hand naturally on it. So I actually have this green fabric suede material here to protect my leather and my seams there. So you can kind of see here, this is another thing, a very small complaint that doesn't really affect anything except the look. There's a bit of an opening here between the red and the brown. There's a little bit of an opening there. Just a small aesthetic thing. Other than that, everything on this bow looks beautiful. So both of these bows came very well wrapped. They were wrapped in several layers of bubble wrap and a lot of tape. It took quite a while to get them out, but they were shipping from overseas, so that's good. They're well protected. They sent me a string for each and offered to give me an extra one, so I went ahead and got 3 strings. The strings were very well waxed when I got them. I didn't have to wax them myself, so that was nice. After I talk about this bow, I am going to shoot a bunch of shots from different ranges so we can see how well I do. I'm not Hawkeye like I like to think I am, or Green Arrow. Green Arrow is better. So this is the Kaiyuan bow. I picked one for function and one for aesthetic. So this is the one I picked for aesthetic. As it turns out, I actually like shooting this one better. 75 pounds at 30 inches. Tagged on there. I probably will leave that tag on. Might come off eventually. Again, like the last one, I have my green material here to protect the bow from the friction of the arrows running across. It has this nice little area here. It's actually black under the green that it sits on really nicely like this. Functions the same on both sides. And we have the end here of the limb, this reddish brown color. I actually really like this color. It matches my bow shelf that I recently built very well. It's perfect. I almost forgot to mention, they actually offer these in pretty much every color you can think of. They also offer hand-painted bows, which I thought were really pretty. So just like the last one, I have a couple minor complaints. These are really aesthetic things. So up here on these wrappings, I don't know if you can see it in the video, there's a little bit of dry glue that sticks out. And if you can't tell in the video, you're not really going to see it in person unless you're actually looking at them up close like I do. The other minor thing is I worry that the roll up here could start to unravel, and that these ties here, or that the stitching might start to come undone a little bit after a while. I've only had these for a couple weeks. Couldn't tell you how many shots I've put in them. I don't count. I can't count. That's hard. Counting's hard. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and shoot these bows from different distances. I shoot on private property. We have an archery range in town, but I don't want to mess with other people's groove by trying to film my videos there. So I film all my videos on private property. So I'm just eyeballing the distance. I'm gonna go ahead and start with about 10 yards. So we got a couple strays, and we got 3 slightly off to the left. Moving back to 20 yards, still with the Mongolian bow. This is a problem you'll come across if you're new to these old-fashioned bows here that do not have the shelves on them for center shots. You have to kind of compensate. All right, about 30 yards. This might be as far as I'm going to go, because if I go any further than this, you guys are going to start thinking I'm trash. And I'm running out of arrows. I got one in my backstop here. Pro tip, cardboard boxes work just as well as $150 freaking targets. Alright, so now for the Kaiyuan bow. This is the one I got for aesthetic reasons, but I actually kind of like shooting better. We're about 10 yards out. Remember, that's a guess because I don't have a rangefinder. Okay, so in bowling, this is like the worst thing ever, but looks like I overcompensated for the second 2. I'm gonna go ahead and try that 10 yards again because that was bad. I think I can do better. That's a little better. Got 2 in the middle there. One's a little high though. Back to 20 yards. So I'm definitely having a harder time with this bow. but experiences vary. Roughly 30 yards back now. Good shooting. Thank you, Jacob. All right, got a few good ones here. A little bit more consistency at the end. So I'm not gonna say whether or not you should buy. I'm gonna say whether or not I would buy again. And I think I want to. I really want to get one of those hand-painted bows. They look really pretty. I'm pretty happy with what I got here. Both of these bows will run you about $200 each. They also offer wooden arrows. I'm thinking about getting some. I haven't looked at the cost of those. You can find more videos of me shooting these on my Instagram, One Light Action, same name as my YouTube. TikTok is Jacob Singletary, just my regular name, not One Light Action. And I will probably follow up in a few months to see how well these are still holding up. I don't know how to end videos either. Good chat.